Hello, WakeUpNZ, Cassie speaking. Leaving no one behind. That is the core principal message of UN Agenda 2030, Transforming Our Lives 2030. And that's how it's documented in UN documentation. So, pandemic preparedness, surveillance, monitoring, legal identity, legal digital identity for all by 2030. That's SDG 3 of UN Agenda 2030, UN Transforming Our Lives, providing digital identification for all by 2030. So SDG focuses on health and well-being. The key aspects of pandemic preparedness is addressed under SDG 3, includes improving surveillance and outbreak modelling, enhancing global cooperation, ensuring access to financing through mechanisms such as the Pandemic Fund. So, pandemic preparedness, SDG 16 of Global Agenda 2030, as is described as pandemic preparedness, and it relates to strong institutions, inclusive institutions, to respond, prepare effectively for pandemics, collection of data, monitoring, surveillance. So pandemic preparedness primarily is linked to SDG 3 Global Agenda 2030, the allocation of funding from finance, surveillance and detection, tracing, tracking, unified strategies for outbreaks. Global coordination includes the leadership of the UN, and it states for coordinated global response on UN nation states. SDG 16.9 is a target within SDG 16. It provides legal identity for all. Pandemic-related, a key element of pandemic preparedness, solid government and inclusive institution to manage a public health crisis. So it's all laid out here in Global Agenda 2030, Transforming Your Lives 2030 by 2030 under Global Agenda 2030. The indirect connection between SDG 16.9, that is everyone to have a digital identity, all people throughout the world by year 2030. So that also relates to pandemics. Official digital identity will be required for vital services like healthcare, social assistance. Otherwise, people can be excluded if they do not have these measures for public health, such as vaccination campaigns. So if everyone is digitally identified, then bring in the vaccination campaigns. Very useful. So official identification is often required to access vital services. And it will expand. It will start with driver's license, birth certificates, and it will go on and on and on. So the indirect connection between SDG 16.9, which is a digital identity for all, official by 2030, official digital ID will be required for vital services like healthcare, social assistance. Otherwise, those people who don't do that will be excluded from health measures. That's how much they care about your health, blackmailing you, coercing you into vaccination campaigns. Otherwise, you don't get other services that you need. So official identification often required to access vital services. So during pandemic, digital identification is reported to be essential to ensure no one is left behind. Now, that is a principal core message within Global Agenda 2030, Transforming Our Lives by 2030. 2030 without your consent. So if they don't get your consent, they will coerce you. They will exclude you from things that you must have to survive. So the core message of UN Agenda 2030 is leaving no one behind, but also the core message of the UN Global Compact on Migration, mass migration, leaving no one behind, connect the two. So migrants, no illegal identification, they get legal digital ID, leaving no one behind. So accurate identification is ensuring no one is left behind. And that is what the UN Compact of Migration has said in its 4-year review. Crisis planning ensuring no one is left behind. Never let a good crisis go to waste. SDG 16.9, legal digital identity for all by 2030, ensuring that pandemic response reaches all parts of society. Don't let the pandemic response, the restrictions, the mandates, the loss of jobs, not being able to go here, not going to go elsewhere publicly, not being able to get your hair done. You can go to the grog shop, but you cannot go to other places. You couldn't go to the butchers, etc. So it was massive. Don't let that sink into your memory hole. This is more of the same, only this is extended, permanent, and once we're locked into our digital prison, that is where we will stay. So this has been enacted out right across the world, And is our government, what do they say? Judith Collins, Department of Internal Affairs, they're the ones, Deloitte's, Matter, part of a global cooperation where the government say, oh, it's a New Zealand company, play it down. They're the ones who did the digital COVID VAX, and now they're doing the digital identification for all by 2030. Wake up, New Zealand. They are going to try and trap you into this. Take away everything you need in life until you comply. Wake up.